All right, what's going on, everybody? A little breaking news right here in the Fox Weather Station Department. We've got retired names from the hurricane season of last year. 2024 hurricane names have been retired, 3 of them. And we knew at least 2 of them were going to be retired. They retired Beryl as well. So that was Chimney Rock right there. That was Helene that went through and dropped all that rain. We've got that. We've got that. Bryan Norcross, a hurricane specialist. He's on the horn right now. And Bryan, I know you've been following this thing for sure. For the last couple of days, we were all speculating, would they retire Beryl or not? And it turns out that they did.
Yeah, Bob, it wasn't really a surprise to me because of Grenada. I don't think that Beryl was retired because of what happened in Texas. It was a bigger disaster than Houston was expecting from a Category 1 hurricane for sure, but it was in Grenada where they had just devastation there, and 2 of the islands that are part of that nation that really qualified it for being retired. Also, Hurricane John, which was in the Pacific in Mexico, that got retired as well. That was turns out the 3rd most damaging hurricane in the history of Pacific hurricanes hitting Mexico. So we didn't talk about that very much, but it was just a massive flood. Actually made landfall twice on the Mexican coast.
So you got Beryl right there. That's when it came through with all those tornadoes, right? Going right at the gut, and then rained itself out around Vermont. So knew there was a chance. It was, like you said, a Category 1 around Houston, but it had a lot of rain with it. So that was Beryl. Then you get over to Helene, and this was retired, I'm guessing, just because of the pure flood potential it had. Well,
and also the impact in Florida. I think if we hadn't had the disaster in the mountainous areas of North Carolina and eastern Tennessee and North Georgia, that this would have been retired based on the storm surge flooding around Tampa Bay and the west coast of Florida and on up into the Panhandle and damage there. I mean, you know, we focus so much on the incredible catastrophe in Asheville and the surrounding area that kind of forgotten that whole towns that had been damaged by Idalia the year before were really incapacitated, and many areas wiped out by storm surge from Helene when it came in, those communities along the Big Bend of Florida. So I think that one would have gotten retired.
Yeah, that was
no matter what.
Yeah, I think so. And when I drive around Atlanta and I go towards Augusta, I mean, the tree damage is still just amazing. Going down I-20, Augusta took it on the chin. That was Beryl, Helene. And then we went to Milton. Later on in the season, it was an October storm that came slamming in. That one had rapid development as well and plenty of tornadoes.
Yeah, those huge tornadoes, too. Really a weird storm. First of all, that track was exceptionally strange. I don't ever remember a track going east to west like that. And then to have those giant tornadoes, of course, if you're going to get them, you're going to get them late in the year because of the kind of combination of wintertime forces coming in, and also, again, the weird track did it. So that one, and that one that's a big, expensive storm. That I think the estimates on that are $36 million, $37 billion in terms of damage. So we're up there in the territory of one of the most expensive hurricanes on the list. So, you know, those kind of storms were guaranteed to get retired. I don't think there's any question about that.
Yeah, you're right. Florida on the chin. Do you think there are any storms that happened last year that should have gotten retired, or do you think they got it just about right?
No, I think they got it right. Those, no, you don't want to. First of all, I can tell you that coming up with names is not easy. Oh. You know, there's only so many names that make sense, and they're, you know, I don't want to say scraping the bottom of the barrel, but it's getting harder. So they came up with the Brianna, Holly, and Miguel will replace these 3 names 6 years from now. So there are 6 hurricane lists, and there's actually a 7th one. Now, the 7th one is used for overflow. If we go past the names on the list, then it kicks into list 7. That list stays static, and then we rotate through those other 6 lists. So once again, the list that we used last year will come along in 2030, and it'll have the 3 new names on it: Brianna, Holly, and Miguel.
Got it. Hurricane Bryan, has that been retired yet?
No, you know, I don't know what is the matter with those people. They have not put that on the list yet.
The Brian or Bryan?
I don't think either of them have been on the list. I don't know. It's obviously an oversight somewhere. But they needed the Beryl had to be a female name this year, so it didn't work anyway. And Brianna,
Hurricane Bob, by the way.
They can get, I guess.
Hurricane Bob retired in 1991, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly, Hurricane Bob in New England. Yeah, for sure. I remember that well. Yeah.
Very good. Me too. Bryan, thanks so much for the time. I appreciate it. And next time we talk to you, we'll be talking about hurricane forecasts. That's coming up pretty soon, man.
Yeah, it's coming up tomorrow. That's right. All right, Bob.
All right, buddy. Good to talk to you.